I'm talking to you about a product that I just released called Accessible. Now, what is it? It's very simple. Let me demonstrate it to you. If you look on this page, at the very bottom of the page in the lower corner, you'll see a little blue dot with an accessibility person on it. Click that. Now, if you click that, you'll notice that a series of buttons pop up on the screen that allows you to change the different view of the screen itself, of your particular website or whatever website that you happen to be on. Now, this is important because this makes your website accessible to people with disabilities. People that are visually impaired in some way, shape, or form are now allowed to read your website equally. Now, there's something called the ADA, which is the American Disabilities Act. And basically, what it says is that if you have a public place, then you need to make your public place accessible. So we would all think things like a library, a hospital, a physical store. Well, a few years ago, that all changed 100% across the board because Target was actually sued for $6 million because their website wasn't accessible. Now, again, this was their website. Now, this was the big ruling that changed it all because from that point on, commerce sites now had to be accessible. Now, this is something I'm going to tell you right now. I've ignored over the years for far too long. I just didn't know of it, and I didn't really know of the repercussions of what could happen. Now, since Target was that landmark case, since then, companies like Netflix, Domino's, Nike, even Beyonce has been sued simply because her website was not accessible for people with disabilities. Now, this is a very big deal because what's happening is that a whole new industry has popped up. In fact, in 2023, there was only about 3,500 cases about ADA compliance and what they call WCAG compliance as well. And the fact is that in 1 year, that number more than doubled. In fact, last year alone, there was over 8,000 plus cases of lawsuits of this kind of scenario. Now, not only is that going on, but just recently, Europe has passed a very similar kind of act, and other countries around the world have been doing this as well, too. Now, you could ignore this. Of course, there's millions of sites that have ignored it. But I'm going to give you a very important statistic in just a moment that's going to not only make you want to make your website compliant, but also it's going to show you a unique opportunity as well. So the first thing is, why should you be compliant? Well, first of all, it's going to increase the number of people that your website is exposed to, which could possibly mean an increase in sales for you. So that's a big reason enough to do it. There's a monetary reason behind it. But also, if you are caught up in one of these lawsuits, first of all, the win case for against a website is like 96%. 96% of the cases brought against a website are actually won. Why? It's very clear to demonstrate why a website is not compliant. It's a simple viewing of it, running a couple tests, and that's it. You're incompliant, and there's nothing that you can do in order to fight that. Now, the fines can be from a few $1,000s all the way up to like $75,000 and even more, depending on how much that particular court want to go against you. Now, like I said, Target and some of the big companies, well, they had some pretty big lawsuits in the millions of dollars. Beyonce's website, I believe the number was $55,000 that they were charged because their website was not accessible. So the first thing is, obviously, we should all become accessible for our websites and make it available to people with disabilities. I think that's a common sense thing to do, not only for yourself so you don't get in trouble, but also, well, it's going to allow your website to be read by people with disabilities. Now, I want you to think about this number, and here's that number I told you about just a few minutes ago. The number is 94%. Now, the fact is, you're not alone with not having your website accessible. 94% of the websites on the internet do not have an accessibility widget or are not compliant with accessibility standards that exist out there. What does that mean? Well, it means that this market is absolutely huge. It's huge, it's growing, and there's a dire need for this kind of product. Now, let me just tell you right now, is this product exciting? No, it's absolutely not. But the fact is, it's a necessity. Not only is it a necessity, but it's a necessity that people have to have legally by law. And that was the big breakthrough for me several months ago. Many of you know I came out with a similar product that worked with the ability for cookie consent as well. And this falls right in line with that idea as well. It's a product that everyone needs, a product that they have to have, and a product that they have to have legally. Legally, they have to have it. And the market is absolutely huge. 94% of websites do not have this. Now, if that's the case, which it is, if that's the case, wouldn't you be wise to offer this kind of service?